We're back with the second segment of Fantasy Playoff Football Week 1. It's been a long season, y'all. Kudos to everybody out there who made the playoffs. It's hard to pay attention to your team every week and keep up what's going on in the NFL. Everybody did the best they could. I mean, you toil week after week. You worry about injuries. Then you worry about bye weeks. Then you worry about who's getting hot at the end of the season. So, you know, it takes a lot of effort to do one of these leagues. And, you know, some people are more devoted sports fans than others. Myself, I'm kind of a junkie, which obviously explains why I'm making these videos. Because I really do love it. Last year, like I said, was my first year playing. I fell in love with it. I'm going to try to do it way bigger and better next year. This is just the beginning, y'all. So I hope you guys stick around because it's going to get good. And it's going to be exciting as it was this year. Let's jump into the third matchup of the playoffs this week. We're down to the final 8 teams. Next week, there's only going to be 4 teams left, y'all. 4 teams' dream of winning this league are going to be over this week. So, you know, it's kind of important. You put a lot of time and effort into this. So, you know, you should take it seriously and you should want to win. You should hope your team does good. So, this week we got Nilla Nation and Zach's team. Let's see what the standings are. Nilla Nation got the third seed, and Zach's team is the 6th seed. Excuse me. For quarterback for Nilla Nation, Eli Manning. Then we got running back studs, Peyton Hillis and Arian Foster, probably the 2 best breakout fantasy players of the year. Marcus Colston, Roddy the Truth White, Terrell Owens, going, gone. You know, here in a year or two, so we'll see if he can pull it out with a big game against Pittsburgh. Greg Olson is his tight end, Washington, and David Akers is his kicker. For Zach's team, we got Tom Brady, Rashard Mendenhall, Darren McFadden as wide receivers, or Greg Jennings, probably the #1 receiver this year, putting up a lot of points, yardage, catches, touchdowns, amazing plays. Then we got Wes Welker and Steve Johnson in there. He made that big drop a couple weeks ago against Pittsburgh, so Zach's team is trusting him again this week against Cleveland, which I think might be a good option because Brian Fitzpatrick has put up like 2,400 yards over the past 10 games, which is a nice yardage total for a team that's performing like that. Then he's got Brandon Pettigrew, Baltimore starting defense, and Dan Carpenter. This week, I'm going to have to go with Nilla Nation. I think Eli Manning is going to get back to his ways and control the turnovers. He's at Minnesota. I know that their defense is not a slouch, but I'm looking for them to do something. Peyton Hillis at Buffalo, Arian Foster at Baltimore. He's got Roddy White at Carolina, who's 1-10. T.O. I know Cincinnati's dying to have a big game against Pittsburgh, so I know that they're going to try to do some things and go deep, which might lead to a big game for Ocho Cinco and T.O. I know Zach's team does have Tom Brady, Rashard Mendenhall, and Darren McFadden. He's got Greg Jennings. He's got Steve Johnson and Wes Walker. Wes Walker's at Chicago. Greg Jennings at Detroit. Tom Brady at Chicago. But I think Chicago's defense is actually better than New York's Jets' defense. And they've been coming alive. It's at Soldier Field, not at home. I just don't see him having as big a game this week. Brandon Pettigrew hasn't done much in the way of touchdowns this year. Steve Johnson, big catches, big drops, not consistent. Baltimore's defense is playing at Houston, who has a potent offense. So I'm going Nilla Nation this week to continue the streak from the back of the pack and win his first playoff game in here. Last matchup of the week, we got Bree's team and the Colorado Nilla Killers. 2 of the most evenly matched seeds at 4 and 5, playing middle of the pack, playing each other. That's how it goes. It goes 1-8, Prt.2.MOV. For Bree's team, or Brian's team, I'm sorry. Phillip Rivers, Frank Gore, LaDainian Tomlinson, Andre Johnson at receiver, Mike Crabtree, and Mike Wallace as well. Vernon Davis at tight end, who had a real nice game last week. His defensive starter is Minnesota. Kicker is Crosby. Colorado Nilla Killers has Matt Schaub, my toss out. He's had a disappointing season. I'm kind of glad I got rid of him. He's putting up decent numbers, but I don't think he's going to win the league. Adrian Peterson had 3 touchdowns last week, but he's playing New York Giants this week, and that's not going to happen. Jamal Charles at San Diego, another good defense. Santana Moss, Brandon Marshall, who hasn't had a great season, nothing like I thought he would. I have him in one of my other leagues, and he hasn't done a whole lot. He's got Jeremy Maclin at Dallas, Todd Heap, New York Jets defense. I got rid of them again last week because they're no good. They're overhyped. They gave up 45 points to New England, and they look terrible. And then he's got Garrett Hartley as his kicker. So I'm going Brian's team this week. Phillip Rivers plays good at the end of the year. It's a big rivalry with Kansas City. LaDainian Tomlinson is back this year. Andre Johnson's coming off an injury. But you got Mike Wallace at Cincinnati. I think he's going to do something. I think the passing game is going to do something this week for Pittsburgh. Vernon Davis is a hot tight end. I just don't see Matt Schaub at Baltimore. Adrian Peterson, or Matt Schaub against Baltimore's defense. Adrian Peterson is playing the Giants' defense. Jamal Charles is at San Diego. Those are Santana Moss is at Tampa Bay. Jeremy Maclin's at Dallas. Santana Moss is home against Tampa Bay. He's just playing too many good defenses this week. I just don't see it happening. I see Brian's team in an upset on this one. And that's about it, man. We will see you next week for week 2. Only 4 teams are going to be left. So I'll try to just dissect the games a little bit more and get more into it and take a little bit more time. So good luck to everybody this week. Again, thanks for playing this league. I really appreciate it. And come back and see me again next year. You know I'll be sending you an invite. Peace.